If I were the CIO of your organization, I might do things a little bit differently than the way you view the typical CIO role. But what exactly are those things that I would do? That's what I want to talk about here today. My name is Eric Kimberling. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent consulting firm that helps clients throughout the world reach their third stages of digital transformation success. And one of the stakeholders that we most commonly work with within our client base is the CIO role, not surprisingly, given that we do digital transformation work. And in this experience, we've seen a lot of successful CIOs, and we've seen a lot of CIOs that have struggled in that role, and a lot of good lessons learned and takeaways for what the CIO role should be, whether you're a CIO, an aspiring CIO, or whether you're looking to hire the right CIO for your organization. Now, before I jump into the things that I would do, let me start with the one thing I would not do. I would not come into an organization as the CIO with a preconceived idea of the technology or technologies that I would deploy in that organization. There's a whole host of other activities I would do first before I even get to technology, and that's what I want to talk about here today. The first thing I would do as your CIO is I would assess the current state of your organization. And when I say the current state of your organization, I don't just mean the IT department. I mean understanding the systems landscape, understanding the end-to-end business processes, understanding how the organization is organized, what people's roles and responsibilities are, what the overall corporate strategy, goals, and objectives are, and really take a step back and avoid those preconceptions or preconceived ideas of what the right solution is without first understanding what the overall lay of the land is or what the overall situation is within the organization. And the key here is really to recognize what the strengths of the organization are and what the weaknesses are and what the opportunities for improvement are. And from that, we can then build on that understanding to start to look at ways that we can prioritize and execute a plan that's aligned with who you are and where you're headed as an organization. Another thing I would do as your CIO is I would partner with your business and other business leaders within the organization. So in other words, I would not come in as the CIO that's going to come in with the technology answers, but instead I would support other parts of the business and other executives and stakeholders within the business to really understand what it is they're trying to accomplish within their part of the world or their part of the organization, and understand what the strengths and weaknesses of their part of the organization are. Some of the most successful CIOs I've worked with are the ones that have a deep understanding of how the business works and what the operations are, both the strengths and the weaknesses. And so that would be the first thing, or one of the first things I would do, is really understand the current landscape of the business as well as partnering with business leaders to understand those operations. Once I understood your current state and I've partnered with your business leaders, the next thing I would do in conjunction with those same business leaders is define what that future state vision for the organization is. Now, chances are, if I'm walking in as a CIO, that future state has already been defined at a high level. I might be asked to provide some input into that, but chances are there's a trajectory that the organization is already on and a direction that the organization is headed. But the key here would be to recognize what those strategic goals and objectives are and what that future state is more from an operational and technological and organizational perspective. Once I've done that, then I can start to prioritize what the key initiatives might be to help enable that desired future state. So again, we start with the current state, we partner with the business, and then we define what that future state is and prioritize initiatives within that future state that then leads to specific IT sorts of initiatives to support that future state. Now, once we've got this blueprint for what the future state is going to be organizationally, operationally, and technically, now we can start to identify specific technology initiatives to support that overall future state. So here's where we come in with specific solutions like a CRM system, for example. If your sales organization is struggling to grow top-line revenue and the future state goal and objective is to increase growth of revenue, perhaps a CRM or a sales automation tool is going to help you get there. Or it could be that there's trouble having visibility into real-time operational data, in which case an enterprise-wide ERP system might be the right solution. Or it could be some host of other variety of solutions that could be a good fit as well. But the key here is to recognize and define and tailor a technology plan that fits who you are today, where you're headed as an organization, and really fits within the priorities and the maturity of the organization. Now, the final thing I would do in the early days or months of being your CIO would be to define what that future state organization is going to be within the IT department. So while we've defined what the overall future state operations are going to be, what the technology initiatives are to support that future state, now we can look at how am I going to build the IT department to support the business and to support those future state initiatives. And this is important for a couple of reasons. One is because the world is changing so quickly, technology is changing so quickly that every organization, especially in the IT world, needs to evolve and keep up with those changes. So chances are pretty high that I'm going to need to reskill or upskill the staff that I have within the IT department. Secondly, if we're changing directions or we're charting a course to go to a different future state than where we are today, we probably need a different IT organization than what we have today. It could be a matter of reorganizing, it could be a matter of bringing in different skill sets, it could be a matter of outsourcing some of those capabilities, but whatever the case may be, we want to do that in a way that supports those longer term future state initiatives that we've defined in the early days as a new CIO. So I hope this has given you some guidance and ideas based on what I would do as your CIO. And again, whether you're an aspiring CIO, a new CIO, or whether you're looking to hire a new CIO, hopefully this gives you some things to think about as you vet potential candidates for that. Now, for more best practices around technology and digital transformation in general, I encourage you to download our annual digital transformation report. It's a guide that we publish each year that contains a number of technology agnostic best practices for how to ensure that your digital transformation is successful, as well as independent software reviews and rankings to help you in your digital transformation journey. So I encourage you to download that white paper below in the link in the description field, as well as other resources that I've included to help you in your IT and digital transformation journey. So if you found this information useful, I hope you have a great day. Once I end, that's what I want to talk about. Nope.
Oh, almost.
Oh, so close. I'm just